Here's my question. How the heck did Morgan Freeman get involved with this over-the-top, true, legendary miniseries that it looks like it'd be really good? Dreamcatcher, which oozes with horror, says the Miami Herald. Jonesy, Henry, Pete, and Beaver are bonded by friendship and by the strange powers each acquired on a fateful day in their childhood. But now a horrific entity is putting their friendships and powers to the test, and some of the four will die, and some will save the world from a menace unlike anything ever seen. Suspense, heroism, awesome effects, they're all unleashed in this Stephen King tale adapted by William Goldman and director co-writer Lawrence Kasdan. A splendid cast headed by Morgan Freeman as a shoot-first alien hunter. Powers the eerie goings-on ranging from a monster flushfest to a massive animal migration to inner mindscapes and beyond. Dreamcatcher is a sci-fi horror fan's dream come true. If you like things to be bat S-word insane. So you have these four friends, they're starting to come in, and it's like saying, hey, we're going to have a weekend, we're going to go hunting. I'm like, okay, I like that. We've got what could be considered an adult version of Stand By Me. I'm liking this. And then comes a guy who's very sick. And I'm like, okay, so they're going to take care of him. And I'm thinking, how long is this movie again? 2 hours and 15 minutes. A slug appears, and things just become absolutely crazy. I mean, Morgan Freeman is absolutely insane as he has this blue unit something, I don't know. And acting over the top, and he manages to make the word, with his regal voice, he manages the words shit weasel to sound majestic. That's what they call the aliens that appear out of people's rectum, and when they get excreted from people's rectums with the teeth and everything. And he's saying that he's been hunting these creatures for years. I'm like, what? I don't know. All the meanwhile, when this thing first appears, because this guy, the person that was lost in the snow, is on the toilet, must be taking a massive dump. Like I said, kind of guy has some privacy. They burst in. He is dead beyond description. Falls down. I'm like, what am I watching? All the meanwhile, this thing appears with the teeth. What the fuck is this? Absolute hilarity involves. This is one you just have to see. So I'm just going to say a couple of scenes I just like. So these aliens possess one of the characters with a beard, and so in order to differentiate, they have the same actor on the snowmobile. The guy is speaking in an American accent, and then suddenly the alien is speaking in a British accent, and one of the characters says, you sound like one of the James Bonds. I'm like, what? Probably Roger Moore. I don't know. I'm just like, why are they having these edit shots of him right here and then right there? And this directed by the same guy who did Star Wars. And then there's some other scene where Beaver sitting down, trying to keep the poop weasel intact. He drops his toothpicks, and now suddenly, rather than wait for his friend to return with the tape, he's got such a particularity for these toothpicks, wannabe Razor Ramon. He manages to find one, but then the poop weasel comes out and gets him does a 1990s crotch grab. I'm like, are you that concerned with the oral fixation when you have a life or death weasel right underneath there? I'm just like, what the fuck? And then Morgan Freeman says, did you or did you not let a certain person out? And then he says, Scout's honor. One of his subordinates raises the fingers, procures a firearm, manages to shoot one of his subordinates right there. I'm just like, what the it just blows my mind. And because they have these, and then there's this scene of the telepathic abilities that one of them manages to contact the second in command, and instead of just using like a car phone or whatever, uses an unrelated firearm to communicate with him. What? I don't know, because before as a kid, when this movie is actually good, they rescued a kid who was being bullied with stereotypical Stephen King bullies, who has psychic powers, telekinesis. They all acquire it, and you kind of feel bad for the kid. You do. And then everything just gets all topsy-turvy and over the top. I'm like, what the heck? I don't know. Then you get the aliens coming in. You get a 3-star general. It's just like, I don't even know what I'm watching anymore. It just got ridiculous. I like the scene where they were going to try and find this girl who fell down, I don't know, some type of sewer or whatever. We get a kind of a cool scene where he can read thoughts or whatever. It's got this like little, I don't want to say like heat vision or something, but what would be the best way to describe it? Like, it points the way to where the girl is, which I like, which coincidentally, there are 4 kids that are walking near a train. Again, with the dang Stand By Me. I don't know. This movie could have just been better if it just focused on when they were kids. It's like the one thing that I've noticed is when it gets to the adults and starts to become over the top, and It Chapter 2 in the original miniseries, it just becomes stupid. I mean, there's enough hilarity that it just makes it over the top wacky. But even when we get to where his memories are that are supposedly don't have much information about Dutters or Douglas, the kid that they rescued, it's like the alien can interfere but is very slow. And the alien gets disturbed. What is it? His attention is diverted elsewhere. It runs slowly. I don't get it. My mind was just blown at this. I'll admit that the scenes where the alien ship gets blown to pieces is pretty cool. I like that. But all in the meanwhile, it just, I don't know what you just have to see this movie. And then ultimately they manage to get the Dutters kid. They get him to come out, and the mother is a-okay with him being taken by friends or whatever, and he becomes an alien. I don't know. I'm truly clueless. I mean, this is not one of those where I'm conflicted. This is just hilariously over the top and bad. Even King himself, and you're wondering, what exactly is going on in this 540-page book? Well, he described first he liked it, but then he said that this movie does so like what Psycho did with Blood in the Shower, this movie does for Blood in the Toilet. Seriously, he cannot stand this adaptation. And when he was struck by a van, what was that, like 1990, in order to help deal with the pain, everything, he wrote the book. It was also extremely high on OxyContin. So yeah, none of this stuff makes any sense. But yeah, a lot of stuff. What would I do? I would cut out a lot of the crap. I would still keep all Morgan Freeman stuff in. He's probably like the saving grace of this legendary mess. I'd still have like more of the Stand By Me part stuff going on, and eventually realizing, hey, yeah, more of this. Reduce all the crap with the aliens and everything else. Have some more poop jokes just because, and just make it like 105 minutes. So ultimately, I don't know. Dreamcatcher, it's just so freaking bonkers. You have to watch it.